Hello and welcome to Exploited Crimes and Technology. My name is Opal Singleton and we come to you every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock right here on AM 590, The Answer. Well, I got to take a few days off, actually quite a few days off. Went to Cancun with my husband and enjoyed a respite, if you will, from all of the pressure that comes with this particular kind of situation that I choose to work within. For those of you that don't normally follow our show, this show is brought to you by an organization here in Riverside, California. It is a national organization. We travel all over the United States, and our organization is dedicated to combating things like sex and labor trafficking and online social media exploitation. We've actually been doing that right here in Riverside for 15 years. And while we're a somewhat smaller organization, we are known for being quite prolific. And thanks for all of your support and help and people who believe in us and donate to us. We have trained more than 750,000 people all about things like sex trafficking and online social media exploitation. We couldn't do it without the public that supports this work. And I had some time off to regroup, and I will tell you that it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. When you've been doing this as long as I have, and the environment out there that is changing so fast, it's hard to keep up with it all. And there are days you think, are we ever going to make a difference in this? And what can we do different than what we're doing? So this organization started way back in 2010 when we were first discovering that there was such a thing as trafficking right here in the Inland Empire. And it has progressed in ways that I never dreamed possible. A lot of the changes that are taking place are based on technology, but a lot of it is also based on things like legislation and basically leadership choices within a community. In Riverside County, we're very, very fortunate to have leaders in the law enforcement and district attorney that are serious about taking on crime. But we are part of a larger organization of the entire state that views a lot of this differently. And so we're having to approach a lot of it differently. So in sex trafficking, it has progressed a lot because we have a lot of open borders. We have a lot of people coming in from many, many different nations. Some of them are great people. They just owe money to people that are not so great. And the problem is we don't know who we're letting in. And so we are basically opening the door to the world. And you are going to see a larger increase of trafficking victims, maybe different than what was happening prior to us having the open borders. Historically, sex trafficking involves our kids. A lot of kids that are foster kids, runaway, homeless kids, any kid looking for love online. And that opens a very big door, and they fall in love and they find themselves out being used for commercial sex in an environment where they can't get free. But the last year or two, I have taken a real interest in understanding how crimes online are changing and how they're affecting our community. You see, we not only have an open border right here in California, we have open doors to our house whenever you allow young people and old people, anybody that wants to take chances online, and allow them to have unfettered access to communication. And this is changing because technology has changed. I've written a book called Societal Shift, A World Without Borders, A Home Without Walls. And those of you that follow this show regularly, you know that I believe with all my heart that the world changed a couple of years back when the entire world got connected by internet. But this thing is increasing in ways that we can't even imagine. What has happened over the past 10 years, and many of you know that we are the co-executive producers of a movie that you can see at any given time online at Amazon, iTunes, and Apple TV, called Sextortion: The Hidden Pandemic. So basically, what happened is when we started connecting, the entire world is connected by internet, and we were putting our prepubescent children and highly hormonal pubescent children online, sometimes without supervision. We are literally putting them in an environment where they can be reached by the entire world. By the way, that's true of your elderly grandparents too. And so what has happened is, for the first time in history, the entire world has been connected by internet. And where that is taking us is absolutely mind-boggling for us to comprehend. So I hope to spend the rest of this show kind of sharing with you what that means in real life and what we need to watch out for. Many of you know that I have been combating sextortion, which is blackmail with a photo or an image or a live stream. Yes, your kids can be caught up in a live stream environment. They're on that video cam on a video game chat room, and they forget that video cam works both ways. And when you put this much power in the hands of people who are very poor and not always honest, in fact, in many cases, they are organized criminals all around the world, you are exposing your children to worldwide criminality. And in order to be able to protect our children, we need to help them understand the world they live in. But that means that we also have to help you understand the world that you live in. So the word sextortion isn't really about blackmail for sex per se, but it refers to blackmail of sexually oriented images. This is often called SG for self-generated sexually exploited images. So these are people who come into your child's video game chat room. They meet on Yahoo. They get a direct message and a DM kind of thing. They meet in a dating chat room. They meet in a live streaming chat room like your video game chat rooms that take place all over the world. They may get a Snapchat. They may meet on a site called Whiz, which we're going to talk about. Instagram, Snapchat, and Whiz are the three biggest apps that predators all over the world will contact our kids to take advantage of them. So if we're going to put our kids online, they need to understand how this works. And that means you need to understand how it works. And that means that I appreciate you, if you're listening to this show, that you're willing to educate yourself on exactly how this happens. So we have a whole lot of new information that came out in the last month or two. I've been studying it in my downtime. Yes, it's a vacation, but I still do a massive amount of reading. My job is to keep you up to date on all of this so that you know what you're talking about. Well, there's a new report that came out while I was vacationing. It's put out by National Contagion Research Institute. It's called a Threat Intelligence Report. The headline is "A Digital Pandemic Uncovering the Role of Yahoo Boys." Those are criminal boys coming out of Nigeria in the surge of social media-enabled financial sextortion targeting of minors. What did I just say? These are thugs. These are people who are taking advantage of people in their own country and using poor kids in their country to take advantage, to access, groom, recruit, and exploit our kids, and then blackmail them financially. Sometimes they blackmail them for more photos, but historically it is financially. Financial sextortion, they say, is the fastest growing crime targeting children in North America and Australia. Cyber criminals are using fake social media accounts to coerce victims. Almost all of them are boys, and in many of these cases are leading to young boys taking their own own lives because of the intensity, because the amount of coordination these people have, because of their ability to use multiple applications and multiple technologies to literally come into our child's bedroom and threaten them and threaten their very future. My name is Opal Singleton. This show is brought to you by MillionKids.org. I hope you'll follow us at MillionKids.org. Get involved and help us protect our kids. Be right back. It's break time. Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. Hey, let me tell you about my favorite restaurant in Riverside, Monarch Asian Bistro. The atmosphere and decor are simply stunning. The service is great too. It's a wonderful environment for a romantic dinner or a family get-together. It's not just another Chinese restaurant. The Monarch Asian Bistro is upscale and it serves Thai food as well as unique Asian-inspired dishes that are just fabulous. My favorite is the pad see ew beef. My husband likes the orange chicken, and the Chinese chicken salad is always great. Our friends sometimes order the Emperor's Choice or Monarch steak. It is my favorite go-to place. Go ahead and give it a try. It's Monarch Bistro in Riverside, Canyon Crest Town Center next to Ralph's. They are open for lunch and dinner every day but Tuesday. Go ahead, give it a try. You're going to love it.
Real estate sales in the Inland Empire are really hot. Sean and Colleen at Caldwell Banker Armstrong Properties in Riverside are proud to sponsor this show. They are the best in the Inland Empire. They're fair, honest, creative, and they care about you and your situation. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Sean and Colleen at 951-529-4066.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of MillionKids.org. I believe the four most powerful words on earth are I believe in you. So we created a challenge coin that says, I believe in you on one side and stand tall, you are loved on the other side. This one-of-a-kind challenge coin is a perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, graduation, Christmas presents, or just an anytime gift for someone you love. What a powerful message for a parent or a grandparent to give to a young person. This 2-inch coin is made of polished gold. It's striking to look at, and it is priceless to hold. It is packaged in a beautiful black velvet gift box. What a great way to leave a legacy of love that will last forever. To purchase this coin, go to millionkids.org/gallery. Each coin is $25. Go to millionkids.org/gallery to purchase and give a legacy of love.
AM 590, The Answer.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. This is Opal Singleton and we are talking about sextortion, the global pandemic, and this thing is reaching outrageous proportions. I have given this a lot of personal thought. Over the last 14 years, we have created an organization. Our motto is keeping kids safe from predators, and it's all about trying to get into prevention and intervention in ways that will protect our kids. But I'm going to tell you that this thing is accelerating to a point that it's almost impossible for me to get my mind around it. And then I think, how am I going to help you understand just how serious this is? You who does not normally live in the same world that I live in, of understanding this. I have talked with my team, and yes, there is a team of people at Million Kids. There's a lot more than me, by the way, and some very talented and dedicated people doing a lot of different things. We have speakers who go out and speak publicly. We have some filmmakers, some very young filmmakers that are making films, some amazing films, like 2-minute films for kids, to talk to them about what they do if they get caught up or why somebody wants their nude photo. We have our CDL, that's Dina, that is helping us package all this and get it out there. We have people who do intervention. We have a private investigator that has dedicated her life from helping kids involved in sexual abuse and in investigating sexual abuse cases. Amazing lady, and a good funder of ours funded some technology so that we can do telephone forensics if you have a young person that's being blackmailed, or maybe your child has disappeared with someone, or they're doing very promiscuous business online that you want to know more about. They can do a cell phone forensic. They can do a social media analysis. She can do a complete background check if you're being blackmailed. So we are putting together a team for Sextortion Outreach Services, SOS. And I'm very, very excited about it. If you want to help us fund it, we would truly, truly appreciate it. We've got the first set of videos going. We're going to have a whole video library that can be accessed all over the world about what you do if you are being blackmailed. And these were created by 20 and 21-year-old foster kids, and they are simply amazing in talking the teen lingo that needs to be talked to. I do the ones, and also Linda and also Clark Morrow, who's an excellent resource. He was retired police, actually law enforcement. With the San Bernardino Sheriff, and does public speaking. He's an amazing public speaker. And so we put together a whole team of people to help us combat it. I want to share with you some of the takeaways from the National Contagion Research Institute. I had not heard of them until I started reading their white paper on this very subject. Financial sextortion is the most rapidly growing crime targeting children in the U.S., Canada, and Australia. Now, this particular research study is focused on minors, but I want to remind you that the same individuals that are being used by organized crime around the world to access our kids can also access you and also elderly people. You know, I used to have a friend. I still had that friend, but her favorite saying was, "There's nothing more dangerous than a senior citizen with a clipboard and a whistle." Well, there might be something more dangerous than a senior citizen with a clipboard and a whistle, and that is a senior citizen on a dating site or trying to hook up on Instagram, Snapchat, or even Facebook, because they don't realize the danger of what they're in. So for all the scams that are going on against our kids and will go on against you, we're just getting started on elder fraud. And so pay attention if you have an elderly person on a website, especially if they're particularly lonely. They are also in danger. So this site is saying that financial sextortion is the most rapidly growing crime targeting children in the U.S., Canada, and Australia. In many of these activities, they are focusing on young boys. Now, let me back up and make something very clear, because sextortion changed. And those of you that have followed this show for a long time probably are aware of it, but let's educate everybody so that they know. Up until recently, and especially making our video, we would often target on young girls, because young girls like to go on, and they like to go on dating sites, and they like to post provocative images. They go on TikTok. They're looking for attention. They want people to follow them. And so much of it was to get photos of young girls in the nude or provocative photos. And that is still happening, but that is a different kind of sextortion that I'm going to talk about. The reason those are happening is because pedophiles also got technology. They went online, they found each other, they formed dark web sites where they could go out and trick young, innocent girls into sending photos. And in those cases, they want more photos. And those photos are bought, sold, and traded online in underground darknet websites or peer-to-peer sites, where they are traded back and forth with through pedophiles that are looking to exploit the girls, but also exploit the girls to get more images. And we have been combating that for a long time. We want the kids in schools to know, once that image goes online, they can never, ever get it back. And it will go out to more people than your child could ever recognize. And hopefully you will have this conversation with your child. There was, and before it was taken down, a dark web pedophile site that was exchanging the photos they were getting by tricking young girls. And this site was literally the largest they had ever seen at the time. It had 1 million paid subscribers. 1 million. That meant if your child was coerced into sending a nude, it could go out, that is a nude that is part of that organized ring, it could go out to 1 million pedophiles in a heartbeat, and that child can never get it back. On top of it, they can start to contact and harass and blackmail your child. So we need to have this conversation very quickly with anybody that's online. Anybody who asks for your nude photo is not your friend, because you have no control on where it goes. And it is an amazing thing what is happening out here, the number of kids that are sending these photos. But now what is happening is we're having the Yahoo Boys. That is a fancy name for any organized criminal element that is blackmailing, especially young boys, and they're doing it out of Nigeria. They are literally bombing, and that is a euphemism, meaning that they are sending out massive amounts of communication to high school, youth sports teams, and university with fake accounts. They're using advanced social engineering tactics to coerce the young person into sending a photo. At the same time, they are using generative artificial intelligence. We are just getting started with this, folks. And this is absolutely brutal, to the point that these kids end up, many of them, taking their own lives. But their life will change forever the minute that photo goes online. The most common apps that they access our kids are Instagram, Snapchat, and Wiz. So how big is this? During this period, the last 18-month period, FBI has reported a 1,000% increase in financial sextortion incidents. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, that tracks these and takes the leads, 72,000% in financial sextortion, targeting from just 2021 to 22. So this is really, really serious business. In the United States, the FBI and NCMEC are saying there have been more than 20,000 reported incidents of financial sextortion, especially of young boys. This thing is just getting started. And the number of teens that have taken their own lives as a result of this is just a nightmare scenario. I have seen and heard these videos. You can see them on YouTube, sextortion and suicide. It is really a sad time in America. Stay with us, folks. It is that break time. We're going to be right back.
Societal Shift, A World Without Borders and a Home Without Walls. This is the most important book you will read this year, especially if you have children or grandchildren. We are living at the most important time in all of history. In 2020, the entire world will be connected by internet, more than 6 billion people coming together. Technology will provide many great advantages for our kids, but a world without borders for our kids is also a world without borders for pimps, predators, pedophiles, cartels, and organized crime. It is a home without walls because 87% of the kids sleep with their phone. It is the greatest societal experiment of all time. Our kids are technology geniuses, and their parents are technophobic. Some are techno-impotent. New apps come with no warnings on how a predator will use them against our kids. Advancing technologies like encrypted messaging, vaporware, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and the dark net will challenge law enforcement, teachers, and parents to keep kids safe. Recent research states that 9,000 kids a day are being blackmailed with a naked photo, and 58% will meet their predator. It is indeed a societal shift, and one in which most parents are unprepared. If you are a parent or grandparent, teacher, counselor, or social worker, please take time to read Societal Shift, Only $18.99 plus $6 shipping. Order today at millionkids.org. That's millionkids, millionkids.org. It'll be the greatest gift you can give your family and yourself. Order Societal Shift today. Million Kids takes checks and credit cards. Opal Singleton, the author, will personally sign the book and send it to you. Again, go to millionkids.org and order Societal Shift today. Join Million Kids. Keep our kids safe from predators.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. Thank you for listening to this show. You know, I meet so many of you out in the public. I do a lot of public speaking. I do a lot of training and a massive amount of research, and just meeting you out in the public and getting to know you. And many of you ordered the coins, the I Believe in You coins for the graduation gifts, and I've sent out a lot of them. It's not too late to get them. It is $20 for one that is not in a gift box. It's in a little plastic pouch. It's $25 for one in a gift box. And they, on one side, they're just gorgeous coins. They're challenge coins. And they say, I believe in you on one side, and it's a collector challenge coin. On the other side, it says, stand tall, you are loved. You see, I think that is the real key to helping kids make good decisions, because literally the way these kids get taken advantage of is they're out there online looking for someone to believe in them. And I think we ought to get there first. And that is the strongest way to keep your kids safe from predators is, number one, keep them off devices as long as you can. Have a lot of balanced activity, have open conversation, and let your child know that you believe in them. This is one of the hardest generations that anybody has ever dealt with. And parenting in this generation, I think, is probably the hardest situation in all of history, because your child is the first generation and your grandchild is the first generation that will be able to reach massive amounts of people, and then have massive amount of people that can reach and influence your child. So it's very important that your child know that you're there with them, that you support them, that you stand by them. So the I Believe in You coin is something you can get at millionkids.org, millionkids.org. You can order as many as you want. They will last a lifetime. They are a legacy that can be passed down from generation to generation, and I think it's a fabulous gift. So we're back to talking about sextortion and what is going on. So literally now, if your child is on Instagram, Snapchat, any of those that are, Wiz is the other big one that's out there, this is a major situation that I think every family ought to sit down and have a conversation before any of your kids go on a device. Now, if they're already there, it is not too late to have a situation. I think they should probably do some school research projects on this just to understand how serious this is, who's doing it, and how it's doing. I often recommend with parents that you create a contract between you and your child. You know, it's your phone, you're paying for it, but you believe in them, and you understand this generation is going to live online with millions of followers. But that also means that they need to learn to be a leader to protect all future generations so that nobody gets hurt on this. So literally, one of the things that is happening is sextortion. So in the past, this has been going on a long time. That's why we made the movie Sextortion, the Hidden Pandemic. Pedophiles wanted more photos. But that has all changed as the third world countries now have high-speed access to your child. That means that you've opened the door to literally billions of potential people that can exploit your child. So it's a whole different ballgame, and you need to sit down and have that conversation with your child. Every kid I've ever met says, "Oh, Mom, I'm going to know when I'm being catfished." Every victim of catfish never realized how bad this was and that they would not realize when they're a victim. If you want to know how bad this is, I learned this in this report. I learned a whole lot of new information in this report. If you want to access this report yourself, by the way, it is put out. Look up N like never, CRI, Network Contagion Research on Sextortion. The other thing I recommend you and your child do is get the Reddit app, Reddit, Reddit, and put in R Sextortion. Now, if you don't want to get the Reddit app, just go on to Google and put in Reddit and Sextortion. They are running a website to share with people. It is a literally Sextortion forum that has 20,000 members. So Reddit, Reddit, by the way, they're not paying me to do this. They don't know me from Adam. That's okay. But I want you to be informed. Has 20,000 members and it has surpassed 1 million monthly unique viewers since November 2023. It is one of the top Reddit communities, the word sextortion. So this tells you how big this is. And you and your kids need to go online before your child has one more interaction on a video game chat room or an Instagram or a Snapchat on them. Members who author the post, comment, and the forum are nearly always victims of financial sextortion, seeking support, or offering advice. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of the F word on there because these people have been sextorted and they're really upset and they're not always use Sunday school language. But it will tell you exactly how sextortion works, and it will also tell your child how badly this thing gets very quickly. The moderated forum creates a safe haven for victims to give and receive support. Okay, the three main tactics, techniques, and procedures coming from Instagram, Snapchat, and Whiz. Now, I had to look up Whiz, W-I-Z-Z. That is the third largest where kids are being trafficked, or not, excuse me, being sextorted. So we're going to come back to that in a minute, but I want to tell you why Instagram is the way it is. With Instagram, the criminals bomb, that's a euphemism for meaning mass attack, high school sports teams and other youth groups with requests in order to appear to have many mutual friends with your targets. So they're going to, literally get access at some point, your child is, and it's going to look like they know the people that your child knows. The moment the user accepts a follower request of a scam account, the following list is compromised. One of the things most parents don't understand, and quite frankly, I'm not sure I understood either, is that Instagram is different than like Facebook, where you can block out your followers' information. Anybody that is accepted as a friend on Instagram can see all your other followers. This is key in understanding that the minute your child sends a compromised photo, these people, especially operating out of Nigeria, will put your kid's compromised photo right next to the list of all their Instagram followers and say, look at this. The criminals have easy access to the target's followers and lists to use as a blackmail, threatening to send the compromising photo to everybody on the list. With Instagram's current configuration, users have no way to protect themselves against these followers and their followers, and the list being copied the instant they accept a friend request. What's that telling you? Your kid needs to be very sure of who they're admitting anytime they admit a friend. In almost every case I've looked at in sextortion, it was a friend of a friend that was admitted that immediately got on there. The other one that is being used is Snapchat, and they exploit Snapchat because our kids immediately think that Snapchat's going to be, the photo's going to be eliminated. It is not always eliminated. They exploit Snapchat to send pre-recorded videos of attractive females and they're sent as live snaps. The pre-recorded videos are shared with a blue icon. This feature gives victims a false sense of security, making them think it's going to go away. So when a screenshot's been taken of the snap in the absence of the notification, the victim believes their image has not been screenshot or shared. Snap scores are perceived as by the victim of indicated of an authentic account. The higher the snap score, the more history the account has. These are all falsified, okay? And it gives your child a sense of security. And that is where they get very quickly lured in to sending that illicit photo. One more time, the conversation with our kids needs to be anyone who wants you to send or receive an illicit photo is not your friend. You need to block them and shut it off immediately, but do not be surprised because they have multiple accounts and multiple names, and they will find another way back to your child. These conversations are critical with your child. This is Opal Singleton of millionkids.org. It is break time, and we're going to be right back.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. I want to tell you about a book I wrote called Seduced, The Grooming of America's Teenagers. It's all about how predators access, groom, recruit, and exploit our young people using social media, online gaming, video chat rooms. Technology is changing at the speed of light, and we have to understand how to keep our kids safe from predators. So you can get this book by going to www.millionkids.org. It's $16. I'll sign it and I'll ship it to you personally. We hope that you will order this book, educate yourself about how to keep our kids safe in this day of changing technology. Join us each Saturday for our radio show at Exploited Crimes and Technology at 3 o'clock on AM 590. The Answer.
Custom Service Systems, a proud supporter of Million Kids, is a family-owned and operated commercial cleaning company servicing the Inland Empire and surrounding areas since 1974. CSS takes pride in their ability to maintain the business facilities they serve and their long-lasting relationships with their valued clients. CSS provides a variety of cleaning systems customized to client needs, including deep cleaning and disinfectant to be COVID-19 compliant. From basic office cleaning to windows and floors, CSS will clean up your mess so you don't have to stress. Custom Service Systems cares about families and communities and wants to give back. Custom Service Systems are proud supporters of Million Kids to keep kids safe from predators. If you need the best cleaning services for your business or corporation, contact Custom Service Systems at cssclean.com. Again, cssclean.com, or call 951-781-9345. That's 951-781-9345. You will know you found the best. Custom Service Systems.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. Let me tell you about my friend Doris Anderson at Remax Realty in Upland. She is amazing. She's kind, she's patient, but she listens. And she's informed, and she will help you with your real estate transaction in a way that works for you. Doris, in full disclosure, often supports the work of Million Kids because she cares about young people. But she knows how to analyze a market, how to market a property, and how to find just the right transaction for both buyers and sellers. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate or invest in income property, contact Doris Anderson at Remax Realty 951-733-8899. That's 951-733-8899. 951-733-8899.
AM 590. The Answer.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. We are talking about the crime of sextortion, and this crime is changing very, very fast, and we're asking you to maybe assist us support our work, we are starting to set up a Sextortion outreach program as Sextortion Outreach Services, SOS, to help families and parents and kids that are becoming members or becoming victims of this kind of thing. It is going to happen to almost all of us at some point. The key to this is open conversation and educating yourself. This is part of what it takes to live in this world. Now, we know that they mostly use Instagram and Snapchat. They are also using video game chat rooms in any way. So many of these chat rooms all have geolocation software on them. They have money transfer software on them. So what is happening is literally criminal groups out of, especially the Yahoo boys out of Nigeria, they're targeting the elderly and they're targeting our kids. Out of the Philippines, it's happening, Pakistan, and like that. So the first thing is that I would suggest that you sit down and share this with your kids. Google Sextortion if you want to. I'm sure you'll come up with me and kid's name on there somewhere. But also Google Reddit and Sextortion and look at it yourself so that you can see. Look at it with your young person, because your young person, is living in a world where nobody really wants to look at the bad guy, and it's going to be all mom because they're afraid you're going to take your phone. This isn't a situation of you taking the phone, although there are times that's appropriate. But what we really need to start, the number one way to combat this is for each and every one of you to sit down and have this discussion. Do a research study together, all of you. See what you can find in the cases, but go onto YouTube and put in Sextortion and look at some of those shows that are on there. I don't want to scare people, but you even might want to consider sextortion and suicide. The name of the game is to help your kid understand that every one of us will become a victim of this, and many of us will not realize. The reason this is so important is because we now have artificial intelligence. Now, a huge percentage, and the numbers vary anywhere from 30 to 60%, depending on which research study you look at, say that teenagers admit 30 to 60% that they have sent a nude to someone they have never met online. The first way to stop sextortion is to stop that habit. Sit down with your child and have this conversation. Anybody who sends you a nude or wants a nude, I don't care how cute they are not your friend, and it will not end well. That's the first thing we have to do, is retrain our kids. Number two is that they will agree, and I encourage you to get a written contract where you have this discussion and create a contract. Number one, you will have every app they have. Number two is that they will never post anything online or send anything online that will embarrass them and make them vulnerable, or embarrass you and make you vulnerable. Number three, they will never, ever go out and try to meet up with someone they met online. And number four, they won't send money. They won't try to negotiate. If they get themselves in trouble, that you will be there for them and that they will trust you enough to come and have the conversation before they make any kind of rash decision. This is not about taking away their cell phone. This is about helping them understand the world we live in. Along this line, we are creating a whole series of videos for kids. And that as we progress, by the way, if you want to help finance that takes money that I don't have, you can do that by going to millionkids.org and hitting that donate button, millionkids.org. Not 1 million, not a million, just millionkids.org, and you can help us fund this project. Once these videos are out, we're about to release a new website that's going to have this social media services on it, and this Sextortion outreach services on it. And all those videos, we'll be sending them out. We are not interested in keeping them only on our website. Once we get these videos made, we want to send them out to millions of people. This is a conversation. This is what breaks my heart about this, is it isn't like we've got a global medical pandemic and we need a vaccine. This is a conversation. This is an awareness program. This is helping grandmas and grandpas and moms and dads understand what this is about and be able to prepare them. I honestly believe this is the greatest calling of all time. This is the greatest challenge to parenthood of all time, because we must pay attention to what's happening. This kind of reminds me of when they first got cars and parents had to suddenly take a whole different look at how you talk to kids, because your child is getting in a car and going 10 miles away and going 50 miles an hour, and you have to hope and pray they survived it. And many of them did, and others did not. By the way, you also need to have the same discussion with your elderly people, that they never, ever engage in a relationship, especially online, especially if that individual is somewhere where you can't know what they look like and meet up with them, and that they ever ask for money. The answer is no, no, and hell no. Okay, because this is going to affect each and every one of us. Sextortion isn't just unique to our kids. It will affect all of us. Adults are as vulnerable as kids. You can take an executive and have his image altered and make his wife think that he's cheating on him when he's not, and blackmail him. As long as the world is totally connected by the internet, there will be all kinds of scams, fraud, and extortion. And we have to start to get ourselves ready for that. And the way we do that is that we are parents that will be willing to educate ourselves and develop the tools to help our kids, especially if they get caught up in it. And that is some of what me and kids are doing. We want to develop the tools so if the kid's in a panic, they can just Google, I'm being blackmailed, what do I do? Somebody sent me nudes, what do I do? This cute little thing wants a nude from me, what do I do? And we are in the process of making some fantastic videos, and we want to get them out there. We're in the process of setting up an entire service to help people who are being blackmailed to find out who they are and be able to track it back so that we can give valuable information to law enforcement and get it some attention. Law enforcement is absolutely overwhelmed with leads. This is coming in. When you're looking at something that has had 32 million reports in the last year of potential online exploitation, and that is a true and real number from National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, we got to get ready for this. We can no longer pretend this isn't happening. So we need you. We need you in a big way. We need your prayers. We need your financial support. We need your involvement to learn everywhere we can to be able to go out and educate others, but you've got to start at home. Start with your kids, start with your elderly, and start by educating yourself. You can go to millionkids.org. We have a lot of resources on there. Our new website will have even more, thanks to your support. And reach out in your youth groups at church. This needs to be discussed. In your parenting groups, wherever you go, parenting communities that are out there, even your neighborhood watch needs to have this kind of conversation. As the entire world is connected by internet, it is really a world without borders and a home without walls. And we've got to get people ready to live in this world. We can do it. It is a matter of training, a matter of educating, a matter of understanding how this works and educating yourself. I hope you'll take the time to look up millionkids.org. I hope you'll look up Sextortion and maybe see our movie, Sextortion, The Hidden Pandemic, on Amazon, iTunes, and Apple TV. If you want to fund this work or support this work in any way, please contact us at millionkids.org. millionkids.org, MILLION, millionkids.org. You can go to that donate button. It's got a P.O. box there. You can send in those checks. I go down and get them myself. We are a 501c3 public benefit nonprofit that has been serving this community for 15 years, but we are on the warpath. They cannot do this to our kids and our elderly and our families. But the good news is it's a matter of educating yourself and educating each other and developing policies and decisions that we can live in a world safely and look out for each other. We'll see you next Saturday at 3 o'clock on AM 590, The Answer.
This message is all about Million Kids, the organization that helps locate missing kids throughout Southern California and educates to keep kids safe from predators. Million Kids educates school administrators, teachers, parents, and teenagers how predators identify a potential victim and the methods they use to recruit innocent kids. BMW of Riverside is a proud supporter of Million Kids. Visit BMW of Riverside at the Adams Street exit off the 91 freeway or click bmwofriverside.com.